Okay, Tuesday, 29th of July, 2025. So Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. This is financial advice. Be smart. A lot of people, when they talk about finance or things in general, they always add a caveat, a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Yeah, I want to be a little more cheeky, a little more, play a little devil's advocate and say, this is financial advice. This you should do without a question of a doubt. Be smart, be intelligent. Some would say be high IQ, but understand the world. Understand how everything works. The physics behind things, the anthropology, the psychology, the sociology, the maths behind things, the chemistry behind things, the biology behind things. I did a few videos about this. Have high IQ, straw man fallacy, steel man fallacy, and understand cognitive biases. By understanding all the nuances of life, humans, reality, the world, the markets, technology, science, you name it, the list is basically endless. The more you understand of these things, the more you accumulate knowledge, understanding, and awareness, meaning you become smarter. You are smart. And the smarter you are, essentially, the easier you can understand more complex ideas. So it's compounding, but also you can essentially predict the future easier. I did a video about this as well, actually. The Become the Demon with AI, a play on Maxwell's demon. Now, as you become smarter, you understand more things. You make fewer mistakes in life by any metric and by any level, by any concept, any field of study, by any field of endeavor. That's powerful. You achieve your goals with less friction because you know what to do. You're able to see emergent systems. You're able to think more strategically, able to think more long term. You're able to understand the first principles behind things, the science behind a lot of stuff, the anthropology behind things. I did some videos about you can't escape first principles of reality. Likewise, I did a video about being anthropologically sound, understanding these emergent behaviors of society, understanding the psychology of the individual, but also the crowds. The crowds in what regard? The market, society, the world, hysterias, you name it. Every subject in its own way is worthwhile studying. I've been studying a lot about anthropology lately, just by interesting coincidence. And slowly I want to shift it into physics, history, and sociology to understand the world even better and do deep dive research onto certain historical figures to understand their lives. As in, fact, these things happen, to understand them and extrapolate data and ideas and strategies from historical figures. It's a case of being, say, one inch wide, but a mile deep, but on so many different topics, different fields of interest, things that interest me and things that I think matter. Matter in what regard? To my goals, my values, my priorities, my standards. I want to achieve that. So I think it'll be smart to understand this field of subject and that field of subject a little better. And we can go deeper at a more meta level. I did a video about a concept that I coined years ago, I guess at this point, called the cost of discovery. Meaning that's like a KPI. So this fact you will learn over here, what did it take you? It took you watching, say, a video, a 10-minute video, a 1 hour video, but you discovered this fact, this principle, as opposed to going through life trial and error and kind of coming to this conclusion, but in the dark, so to speak, without actually conceptualizing it, as in a sense of knowing the terminology behind it. So, case in point, I did a video about the surface to area volume ratio, biology, and how that relates to systems, animals, individuals, and people, with regards to efficiency, with regards to the balance sheet and income. Now, I discovered that concept, I coined that, right? I came across that concept by understanding this concept in biology, and I was able to transplant the idea into finance, finding connections, knowing more first principles of life. And therefore, what would have taken me, say, a decade of thinking and kind of piecing together randomly, by knowing this concept in biology, I really forgot how I discovered it really. By knowing that and knowing sufficient things in finance, I was able to bridge the knowledge gap. Wow. and thus discovering inadvertently this concept, cost of discovery, meaning we discover more things quicker and faster because we know more stuff. What did I say earlier? Learning becomes exponential because you're able to piece together more things, more concepts, faster and easier and quicker. And you understand more concepts faster. You understand exponentials easier, things like that, for example. So this is financial advice. Be smart, be intelligent, be clever, learn, study, books. I have a handful of books here on Spanish that I'm reading to understand the language, essentially, the grammar, the vocabulary, everything. I'm doing deep study. I'm studying deeply the languages as well, and I even contemplating to start learning a third language, but it depends on a few dynamics, time and restrictions, whatever else. But be smart in life, be intelligent in life, high IQ, yeah, sure, but be clever, connect the dots, understand more things, more first principles of the world, and all these different subjects. For all you know, there could be something in geology or geometry that you learn, an interesting principle or a concept that can be applied elsewhere. Powerful stuff. And then you could also say at a meta level, have an open mind, because you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you're going to discover. Cost of discovery. This concept over here, that's an interesting metric, interesting KPI, interesting tool. How can I apply that over there in my other field of study? Or that's an interesting thing over here in the realms of meteorology, let's say. I wonder how that can be applied in, say, systems thinking, let's say, emergent systems thinking. Very interesting. There's a crossover. There are limitless crossovers to be had, to be created, to be discovered, depending on how you analyze it, because of your intelligence, because you're smart. You can piece together more things. You understand people better. Powerful. That is a distinctive edge in the world, in society, in business, in the markets, in everything. Be smart. Learn. Study. Learn. Any and all topics, especially ones that interest you. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Intelligence. Not to be squandered, wasted, ignored, disregarded. No. Powerful thing to waste. It's a shameful thing to waste this. Lost opportunity. Not realizing your potential in life. Time goes by. We can't get it back. But we can be more efficient. And we can leverage our time better by understanding more of the world. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.